Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to your full moon in Scorpio astrology video. My name is Gobind and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for watching the live video and also for watching the replay. Leave any comments below if you're watching the replay to let me know how this resonated with you, and I will say hi to you guys in the chat in a moment. I wanted to remind you guys, if you have not signed up for my newsletter, when you do, you actually receive a free moon astrology guide, which gives you insight into the sign that your moon is in and what that means for you in terms of what psychic gifts you have based on your moon sign. So if you are already part of the newsletter and you're receiving the Moon Magic Report every week, then don't disregard that. Also, we also just last night, we recorded the Module 1 Aquarian Astrology class, which is all about the basics of astrology. We actually were live for like 2 hours and 38 minutes. And it was amazing. I had a blast. I'm so excited. So now it's available on the portal. For those of you guys that are already signed up for the class, you can now watch the replay. And for those of you that have no idea that I am actually teaching astrology and I have an online astrology course, you can also sign up. And there's a link in the description of this video that gives you where to sign up. The class is only $33. And you'll have about a month to complete this class before we go into Module 2. I mean, you'll have forever to complete it, and you'll have access to it forever. But if you want to join us on the journey and keep up with us with the modules, we'll be doing the next module in June. So I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about this full moon in Scorpio. It is an intense energy, and I'll describe why it's intense and what are the big players astrologically for today. But let's see who's in the chat. Let me say hi to everybody who's in the chat. Hey Sparky, hey Z, hey Chanel, hey Darcy, hi Wendy, how's it going? Hey Deidre. Thank you guys for being in here. Appreciate your presence. And those of you that are not in the chat but are watching, thank you for watching as well. Hello Cole, how's it going? Hey Jay. Hey Rebecca. Hey Noriko. Valerie. What's up, you guys? So I have been hearing like a lot of different things about this full moon. I think some people are feeling it very intensely. Some people are experiencing a lot of emotions, which is natural for a Scorpio moon. the full moon is actually tomorrow. So today what we're doing is we're covering the astrology of it. Yes, Magali, you're just on time. Just on time. Hello, how's it going? Cold as fire, hot as ice, tarot. So basically, the full moon is tomorrow, and tomorrow we're actually going to do the full moon ceremony. And the ceremony is really beautiful. It's a chance for you to be in sacred space and to fully cultivate the energy of the moon. Now, full moons are actually moments that are culminating in energy. They're like a completion process. The full moon is the buildup that has been happening. Hey, Chad, it's the buildup that has been happening since the new moon. Remember, we just literally these new and full moons happen so fast for me now. It's not even funny. I'm like, what? Already a full moon? Already a new moon? Oh my God! And I can't even tell you how much more intense things are going to get. And if you have not purchased my spring webinar video where I cover the astrology until basically the end of June, then make sure you get it, because we've got a bunch of retrogrades coming next week. We've got eclipses in June. You know, the nodes just switched signs. There's major shifting right now. So it's normal and it's natural for you to be feeling the intensity of the shift, especially if you are someone that feels like is on a spiritual path or a healing journey. This shift is not going to feel comfortable. But you know what? I was thinking about this because I was having a hard time, I guess, not a hard time, but I was feeling a lot of intensity on Monday, right before the nodes switched. So the nodes switched into Gemini and Sagittarius. I did a video about that, so if you haven't watched that video, just go check it out. It's on the channel. It's called Gemini North Node and How to Succeed Through the Transit, because it does last for 18 months. But on Monday, I was feeling the energy really intensely. And the truth is that knowing this information, knowing how it all works, is actually gives you like the upper hand, honestly, because you're not being run over by the truck or the bus or whatever. You're actually aware of what's happening, and you can maneuver the energy. You can use the energy to your advantage when you understand what's actually going on. That's the power of knowing astrology. And also one of the reasons why I decided to teach an astrology course. So for those of you that don't know anything about it, definitely check the link in the description to sign up for my astrology class. If you want to learn how to read your own birth chart, and then later on learn how to read other people's charts, this is it. The Aquarian age is very, very perfect time for us to all learn astrology and become familiar with it, because it leads us to understanding ourselves in higher dimensions and different frequencies and energies, psychologically, emotionally, physically. And it's very important right now for us to be able to do that, because the world, like for the people that are not awake, the world needs leaders. The world needs the example of how to flow with the shift and how to usher in the Aquarian age. And that's exactly what we're doing. Thank you, Wendy, for moderating. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Soul Sister. Yeah, imagine not knowing what's going on. It's true. There's a lot of people that are not, they really don't know. They're just probably freaking out right now. Did it, Chad? Did you love it? Oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys that I released another one of my songs called Warrior Within. It's on the channel. I have a playlist too on the channel which has a lot of my original songs if you want to check those out, but I have been releasing them more produced, I guess you could say. So that's been really fun to do. Yes. 7 in, hold, 4, 8 out. Oh. Yes, breathe. Breathe, people, breathe. Yes. So what I do, who's new to the astrology reading, the new moon or full moon astrology video, what I do here, I'll tell you guys how this works. We're going to pull up the chart on the screen. I'm going to go over, you're welcome, Chad. I'm going to go over the important aspects that this moon is making. what it means for us as a collective, and also what it means for us individually, because I'm going to tell you where this moon is landing in your chart. Okay, let me pull up the chart on the screen so we can get this party started. Hi, Jean, welcome in. Thank you for being here and hanging out with us. I'm much more like chilled out today. Yesterday took a lot out of me. That class took a lot out of me, you guys. I was exhausted. I slept in today like I hadn't slept in like over a week. I needed it. And my throat was like all dry. It still is. After talking for 2 hours and 38 minutes without stopping, that'll do that to you. Warrior Within? Yeah, I've played that song a bunch of times. I've just been releasing it. I don't think I've released it on YouTube, like as its own like separate video. Thanks, Sparky. Okay, here we go. Let me transition this. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the full moon in Scorpio chart. It's weird at the moment listening to Jai and chit-chatting with y'all, the pressure seems to be releasing a bit. Yeah, everybody needs to calm down. Everybody just calm down. Thanks, Wendy. Aries in the building. Hey, Ghost. Ghost. So, I'm going to... There it is. All right. So here's the full moon chart. Can you guys see it? Let me see if... Yep. We're good to go. So, the moon in... Here's the moon, first of all. Let's look at the moon. It's right there. It's at 17 degrees of Scorpio. And then right on the opposite side, you have the sun. And you also have Mercury. The sun is at 17 and Mercury is at 20 degrees, but it's conjunct the sun. So that means that the moon is actually opposing the sun and Mercury. The moon is also trining Neptune, who is in Pisces, and then Neptune is also sextiling the sun and Mercury. And then the sun and Mercury are also trining over to Pluto, which rules the sign of Scorpio, which makes him the ruler of this moon. So we're going to talk about all of those things right now. That's how you, for those of you that are taking the class, this is an example. It's how you can practice. You can watch me do this and you'll learn how it all works. When we do collective readings, we don't look at the houses because everyone's houses are going to be different depending on the location that they're on the planet. So the moon in Scorpio is actually a really intense placement for the moon. The moon is in what we call its fall position in Scorpio. It means it doesn't like to be in the sign. It doesn't feel good in Scorpio because Scorpio is really intense. The moon is already intense enough by itself, right? It's about our emotions and about facing our fears. When it's in Scorpio, it's like on speed. Scorpio is deep, and the moon, although it does rule the emotions and our inner processes, Scorpio adds to that intensity in the way that makes it really overwhelming sometimes. If you actually signed up for the astrology class and you're in the group, people have been sharing in the group that they're feeling, the Facebook group, that they're feeling really uncomfortable right now. Some people with the moon, some people have been, crying. Some people have been feeling overwhelmed. Some people are just simply having a hard time with it. So if you're feeling this way, know that you're not the only one. Plus, there's like so much more going on than just this full moon. But this is a moon ruled by Pluto. Why? Because Pluto rules the sign of Scorpio. And as we know, he has actually gone retrograde in Capricorn. Pluto just went retrograde in Capricorn. So this retrograde, this Pluto retrograde, is going to be significant for this full moon. It is going to give this full moon a very reflective effect. It will feel like we are having to look at things like a little bit closer. It's not so much of an outward moon as it is an inward moon. So he is asking us to reflect on everything that has changed and transformed and emerged from the depths of our subconscious to be healed. The first major aspect that the moon is making is the opposition to, obviously, a full moon is always in opposition to the sun, regardless, which means the sun is going to be in the opposite sign. So the sun is in Taurus and the moon is in Scorpio. But the other planet that happens to be right there next to the sun is Mercury. So the moon is actually also opposing Mercury. One of the most powerful effects of this moon is this opposition. So if the moon is our emotions and Mercury is our mind, when they oppose, we feel at odds with ourselves. Our minds and our hearts are in conflict. We're being pulled, we feel like we're being pulled in two different directions. So you're going to have, this is, to put it into perspective, you're going to have the whole world battling it out, not knowing what's going on, having this battle between what they think is going on, how they think, and what they're feeling. And the most important thing in life as a person who is healing or on a healing path is to be coherent with our thoughts, with our words, and also with our actions. So what does this mean? This means that if your mind is thinking one thing and your heart is feeling another, and your actions are not matching either of those, if you're not living your truth, if you're not walking the talk, basically, you will experience this as anxiety, confusion, and even emotional turmoil. This is besides the fact that some moons will make you feel more sensitive than others. And you have to know your birth chart to know which moons are going to actually affect you more than others, and why, because everybody's has a different alignment in their birth chart. And when the moon is transiting your chart, it's going to give you a different feeling. Some of us have, for me, for example, when the moon is in Gemini, I have a lot of Gemini in my chart. When the moon is in Gemini, somehow Gemini moons don't really feel that good to me, even though you feel like naturally they would. Normally, Gemini moons feel really intense to me. It's almost like too much. But basically, you have to know your birth chart to know exactly how this is affecting you. In a general sense, I can tell you, and we will go over that at the end of this video, and it's actually, this is part of what we're learning in the astrology courses, how to understand, your birth chart. But here we are in the middle of this battle in between our mind and our heart. So how do we balance this energy? Well, you have to look at what's going on, what else is going on during this full moon. And the planet we're going to go to is Neptune, right over here, because he's actually sextiling the sun and Mercury, as well as trining the moon. He's having a communication with both of these aspects that are opposing. It's a good communication. It's a positive message coming from Neptune. He's basically speaking to us through our connection with our higher self, through our intuition, through our beliefs, through our relationship with the divine realm, because those are all the things that he rules. So what does this actually mean? Hey, Erica, this means that Neptune is saying, hey, y'all need to chill out, right? This battle that's going on between the mind, like, y'all need to chill out, because fighting against each other is not going to work. Neptune says, I have important information to share with you, but you have to do your part to quiet yourself and listen, because the answers that you are looking for are found in the silence, in the stillness. And that's what Neptune in Pisces has to offer on this full moon. And remember too that full moons are completion cycles. Like I said, they're the culmination of energy that has been building up since the new moon. This is a buildup that will have to be expressed and will have to be released. But it's not a bad thing. You know, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about like, oh, Scorpio this and Scorpio that. But so we tend to think of Scorpio as a sign that is like too intense or too dark. But we're nothing without Scorpio, you guys. We're nothing without the Scorpio energy, because if we're not able to face the truth, which Scorpio is all about, if we're not able to face the truth about ourselves, about our journey of healing, if we can't face our fears and learn to let go, we won't make it very far in life. Because the whole point of being human is to learn to transcend your own limitation. Your own limitations, which are brought on by your belief systems. We limit ourselves based on our belief system. So Scorpio teaches you how to let go. We wouldn't know how if we didn't have this energy. So the question that we have to ask ourselves is, how do we use this wisely? Where is the beauty of this full moon? The trine to Neptune, right? Let's erase these guys and mark it, and let's do green. The trine to Neptune, right? Moon trine Neptune is the faith that we need to encourage us to believe in ourselves and the universe, and the faith that we need to believe that everything will eventually work out for the good. We need this right now. The sextile to the sun is the intuitive and psychic activation. We will have the gift of perception of what other people are feeling and thinking, which is, in essence, is ultimately bringing in compassion. And the sextile to Mercury gives us the power to immediately know what others need and want, which gives you a talent for subtly influencing others with all the right words. And they often end up thinking that your ideas are their own. This strengthens our creativity too. And it's actually a really good idea to express what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's coming up for you through any kind of form of art, like writing, dance, whatever. Because Mercury is the alchemist. And when it is in sextile to Neptune, we actually feel a strong spiritual connection to the universe. Neptune is the universe, you guys. The universe is speaking to us through this full moon. There's something else going on here that's really important to look at. Pluto rules this moon because Pluto rules Scorpio. Look at this. Pluto is trining the Sun and Mercury. With this Sun-Mercury trine Pluto, we have to look at what Pluto is asking of them. So the trine from Pluto to the Sun is activating our willpower and our ability to tune out the world, to concentrate on what's here, on the matter at hand. And what is the matter at hand? It is our own inner healing and journey, and it's about anchoring the light and being the example for others to follow. This is the quality that people are drawn to because it emanates experience and knowledge as well as emotional support. The trine to Mercury is really powerful too. Pluto will be giving us the ability to delve into and master what is of interest to us. It activates a powerful mental energy that gives you the ability to program your thinking any way that you choose, and the determination to commit and follow through on any goal that you set. This is a desire to understand the mysteries of life, and whatever messages you receive from the underworld should be expressed through means of art, like writing, like I said, writing, dancing, music, whatever, poems, anything. So when we actually look at the whole picture, we see that this moon has a lot of support from its ruler, Pluto, and from the mystical Neptune, and is actually giving us an opportunity to dive deep into our own healing journey, knowing that we're not alone, because Neptune is the realm of the angels and our spirit guides, and we have Pluto actually there backing us up, not making it more difficult. He's actually backing us up. So as we come back around full circle, if you're one of those people that is having a hard time right now, or feel like you're being negatively affected by this full moon, you have to ask yourself this: how can I change the narrative in my mind? How can I change my thoughts, my belief systems to match what my heart truly desires? How can I change the narrative so that I use the power of Pluto, Neptune, the moon, and the sun and Mercury and become the alchemist or the magician and transmute the energy? Create the narrative that I want to believe in, that I actually believe in. We have, with this moon, a very mystical and rare opportunity to take our power back. Not to get lost in the underworld, not to get lost in the fear, not to get lost in our emotions of what comes up, but to actually take our power back. So what are you going to do? There's other energies that are also playing a role here. If you are in my newsletter, and you get the Moon Magic report every week on Wednesdays, you know what's coming for the week. The nodes just moved signs. Here's North Node Gemini, South Node Sagittarius. This is powerful. This is a collective cosmic shift, because the nodes are aligned with the galactic center points. The galactic center point is the center of the galaxy. It's the black hole at the center of the galaxy. It's the 9th dimension. This is where all the information comes in that we need. The Pleiadians, if you've read the Pleiadian agenda, the Pleiadians have channeled, oh look, there's 33 in the chat right now as I'm saying this. The Pleiadians have channeled information through many people. And they say that the 9th dimension, the black hole at the center of the universe, not the universe, but our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, is the access point of all of the information that we need. And when we're able to integrate the 9 dimensions into the now, into this physical time-space reality, the 3rd dimension, which is only really possible here on Earth, then we will have transcended, ascended, helped the planet, all that stuff. So we have to change our perception of the world right now. You can't get stuck in the past. You can't get stuck in the past right now. You have to bring all that knowledge that you have learned, and you have to bring it with you to the age of information, to the age of communication, to the age of the higher mind, the Aquarian age. With this moon, you can't escape. You guys, why do you guys think we're in quarantine? There's no escaping what's coming up. We're being forced. For whatever reason, there's a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of different belief systems about what's going on, but one of them is that the earth is healing. And we're being like grounded so that we can heal with her, so that people can wake up and realize that things are changing faster than we could have ever imagined. And if we don't keep up with the shift and the change, we're going to get left behind. But there's no escaping this. So there's no point in falling with the moon in Scorpio. You have to rise above it. You have to rise into the energy of the sun and Mercury in Taurus, which is all about beauty and love. Who rules Taurus? Venus. Venus is so close to the North Node. But next week, she's going to go retrograde. And it's going to be gnarly. She only goes retrograde every 18 months. And every time she goes retrograde, she disappears from view. Right now, she's the evening star. When she goes retrograde, she's going to disappear from our view. She's going into the underworld. She's like Psyche, goddess Psyche, who had to go into the underworld. She's like Persephone, right? The goddess of the underworld. She's going deep. She's going deep, you guys. She's going in. She's going in and she's taking all of us with her. We're going whether we want to or not. So we have to be okay to take risks. Mercury in Taurus is about speaking beautifully, expressing beauty through communication. Relationships are about to be fully tested. And you know what? Also, Venus is squaring Neptune, which is a difficult aspect for relationships right now. And the fact that she's about to go retrograde, and the fact that while she's retrograde in June, we're going to have 2 eclipses while she's in the underworld. While we're traveling through the underworld, there's going to be 2 eclipses. That's no joke. This is massive shifting, massive change. Most relationships that are not in alignment with your higher self are probably going to end, or you're going to fall with the moon. Do you want to fall with the moon? No, I'm sure you don't. This is a time for you to take your power back. How do you take your power back? You don't fall with the moon. You rise. You rise with your soul. You speak the truth. You speak with words of wisdom. You listen to your spirit guides, your angels, your teachers. You connect to the mystical. You connect to the divine. You embrace the journey into the underworld. Because you know what? The world needs this. This is the collective dark night of the soul. Yes, you're going to feel sensitive. Yes, it's going to feel uncomfortable. Yes, it's going to feel ugly. Yes, things are going to change. Yes, you're going to cry. But you know what? Remember what I said about Scorpio. We're nothing without that. If we don't learn to face our fears, we're nothing. What's the point? The point is to rise. The point is to take your power back. The point is to ascend. The point is to realize that the whole reason that we're here on this planet is so that we understand where we come from. We understand that, 12,000 years ago, we lived in harmony with the earth. And we need to do that again. We need to come back home. The moon rules Cancer. Cancer is the 4th house of the home. We need to come back home. We've gone way too far off. And that's why the alignment to the galactic center point is home. This is massive. Massive. Don't fall with the moon. Okay. I need my Purium drink. I left it in the other room. Life expands or contracts in proportion to one's courage. Ooh, I like that. Hey, Alexa. Hey, Melanie. It does. It makes so much sense. Who's an Aries in here? Who's Aries? I gotta fix my mic real quick. Who's Aries? Where my Aries peeps at? If you're an Aries or Aries rising, this moon is happening in your 8th house of death, change, and transformation, ruled by Pluto, which is, again, a big deal. Because remember, this moon is ruled by Pluto. This is a time of change. This moon will activate change for you. Big change. Internal journey. If you're a Taurus, who's a Taurus and Taurus rising? If you're Taurus or Taurus rising, this moon is happening in your 7th house of relationships. So that's a lot. That's saying a lot. Knowing that what we just looked at, the fact that the sun and Mercury are in Taurus, conjunct, opposing the moon, it's quite a lot. Relationships. What's going on in your relationship? What are you not facing in what fears are you not facing in your relationships that you need to face? Gemini and Gemini rising. Who's a Gemini, Gemini rising? If this is happening in for you, Gemini, Gemini rising, this is happening in your 6th house of work and being in the present moment. Magali. For my Geminis, this is happening in the 6th house. That means that you are learning how to be in the moment, and that's difficult for Geminis. This is like talking about like meditation. Geminis love to live in their mind, and this moon might feel good for you. It actually feels really good for me, believe it or not. I like this moon. I like this moon because I'm on the side of Mercury. I'm not with the moon. I'm with Mercury and the sun. So, and work sucks? Oh man. So yeah, so what are you not facing in that part of your life? Right? What's the truth? What's the truth? Who's Cancer, Cancer rising? Chad? If you're a Cancer or Cancer rising, this is happening in your 5th house of creativity. This is actually exciting. Because with all this, with your intuition being heightened by Neptune, and the whole thing saying we got to get creative, we got to make things happen. This is really powerful for Cancers, you guys. Use this to your advantage. Create something beautiful. If you are who's a Leo, Leo rising? Leo sun, Leo rising, this is happening in your 4th house of the home. So this might be a little gnarly for Leos, because you're having to ask yourself, what am I not seeing? What am I fearing about home? What's happening in my home that is not working, that needs to be fixed, faced, all that stuff. For who's Virgo sun or Virgo rising, this is happening in your 3rd house of communication. And so for you, this is cool because you're with Mercury and the sun too. Mercury rules Virgo. So you're on the side of the sun right now. You're listening to your soul. You're able to express the beauty. This is really good for Virgos because that means that you can speak the truth, and you need to speak the truth. You need to tell yourself the truth. You need to communicate with others the truth. People will probably look to you for some answers, for some wisdom. For Libra and Libra rising, who's Libra, Libra rising, this is happening in your 2nd house of finances and material possessions. So your relationship with the things that you own, with the things that you have, might be on shaky ground. What's going on in terms of finances and the things that you own and your material possessions? But also, this is cool placement too. Not necessarily, not to scare you, but this is a cool placement too, because the second house is ruled by Taurus. And the Sun and Mercury are in Taurus. So if there's anything happening that's feeling uncomfortable for you in this realm, you have the ability to communicate very clearly about it. And you have the ability to see intuitively what's really going on behind the veil, on the other side of the curtain. This is what's happening on the other side of the curtain that we can see. If you are a Scorpio sun or rising, this is happening in your first house. You are with the moon. But the thing is that you understand this at a very deep level. And you're not afraid of it, because Scorpios tend to have no fear. They're not afraid of the dark, right? Scorpios, they know, they can see this. So this is you. It also can be a little bit intense, because if it's in your first house of self and your identity and who you are, this is what things about yourself are you not facing right now? What things about yourself are you not seeing? This is a major time of self-transformation and healing. This has to do with you. An internal process of moving into who you are. Emerging as the phoenix that rises from the ashes after it goes through, the fire, the transformative fire. Who's Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising? This is happening in your 12th house of the subconscious mind and the mystical. You know who you're with right now? You're with Neptune. You're with Neptune. So you're connecting. So your intuition is probably really powerful right now, really strong right now. For real, says Jay. Your intuition is really strong. It's like you're looking at everything from up above. You also have the South Node in your sign. So that can feel a little bit, that transit for you, the next 18 months for you, Sagittarius, I should actually do a video of the nodes, but that would be a really long video. But the South Node being in your sign means that you're going to be going through some major releasing and shifting in the next 18 months. Wherever you have Sagittarius in your chart. If it's rising, it's in your first house. It's near your first house. If it's the sun, it can be anywhere else in the chart. That's how you're going to know how it's affecting you. Who's a Capricorn and Capricorn rising? This is affecting you in your 11th house of friends and sharing your gifts with the world. Pluto's in Capricorn right now. So is Jupiter. But Pluto and Capricorn they're going to conjunct again at the end of June. They conjuncted already once in April. They're doing it again in June. And they're really, really like asking us to let go of the old structures and the old ways of doing things. So Capricorn, you have to ask yourself, who do you want to be at the end of all of this? What do you want to like bring to the world? What gifts are you going to share with the world? Those are the kind of questions that are coming up for you. What are you not facing in that place in your life, in that area of your life? For Aquarius and Aquarius rising, this is happening in your 10th house of career. And that can be intense because the 10th house of career is how you show up in the world. You have Scorpio at your 10th house. So the way you show up in the world is like, it's a very intense energy. But you're also Aquarius, so you understand the energies that we're moving towards in terms of the Aquarian age and Uranus. Uranus is not far from the Sun and Mercury. And earlier today, the moon actually opposed Uranus. So it was opposing your natal planet, Aquarius. Not your natal planet, but your ruling planet. Which means that it was asking you to deeply acknowledge the big shifts that are happening when it comes to your career, and to take the risk that you're afraid to take to make things happen for you. And then for Pisces, anyone in here Pisces or Pisces rising, this is happening in your 9th house of spiritual integration. This is a deep dive into understanding your connection to the mystical, into understanding your belief systems. All those belief systems that I was talking about that sometimes really block our way through to the other side. Those are the belief systems that you have to face, that Scorpio is asking you to face and release and let go of. And once you face that truth, then you will emerge from the underworld. We're about to go into the underworld with Venus, you guys. And this has more to do with our relationships than anything else. But because this is the Scorpio full moon, I believe that this is like, where this is happening in your chart is going to give you some information as to where you're going and how you can emerge a better person, a more awakened person. So there's some amazing stuff going on right now, you guys. Tomorrow, we are going to be doing the full moon ceremony. Hey, Lucas, love you too. We're going to be doing the full moon ceremony tomorrow, and that's such a beautiful. So if you guys, we do the ceremony on the new moon and on the full moon day. So all this that I talked about, you'll probably feel it even more intense tomorrow night. But the ceremony is so beautiful because we get to connect with the mystical. Tomorrow we get to connect with Neptune. We get to go and hang out with the mystical and to create that sacred space and to receive a message from the spirit guides for all of us as a collective, what this moon wants us to know. The wisdom from the moon, the wisdom from the ancestors will come through. And we chant sacred songs, and I sing my original songs too. And it's all, to help you align, to help you, to have a moment to be with God. That faith that Neptune is activating right now with the moon, with that trine and sextile to the moon and the sun and Mercury, that's the faith that we're going to connect to tomorrow. Yes. Yes, Deidre. The ceremony is very therapeutic. Exactly. So especially if you're one of those people that are feeling really uncomfortable, sad, you're going through a lot, it's scary, like just come and hang out and just be in the space. And I promise you, even if nothing is going to be different when the video is over for you, at least what's going to be different is you're going to feel a little bit lighter, and you're going to feel like you actually connected to spirit. And that's what we need right now. We need that. We need the faith. We need to feel like we matter. We need to feel like everything's going to be okay. We need to believe it. Because if we don't believe it, it's not going to happen. Yeah, so tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to go live, and we're going to celebrate this full moon. We're going to celebrate all the beautiful things about it, all the beautiful energies that it's presenting. Because we be getting ready to go to the underworld. We're getting ready for a crazy journey. Are you ready? Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. Oh my God. Tomorrow, I mean, next week, Saturn goes retrograde, Venus goes retrograde, Jupiter goes retrograde, all in the same week. That's right. That's right. We be ready. So, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll be creating more. Yeah, exactly, Chad. Exactly. It's like a ride at Magic Mountain. Oh, like the Cyclone. the ride called the Cyclone. I love that one. It's like all shaky. Have you guys gone? Has anybody gone to Six Flags Magic Mountain in California? Getting scuba gear ready. Oh my God. We do, Chad. We have each other. Stop. Yeah, right? Right, Magali? Hi, Chad's mom. That's so sweet. If you were born in retrograde, if you were born with what in retrograde? This full moon feels yummy. I love this full moon. I have empathy for everybody that's having a hard time. But I was having a hard time on Monday, but now I feel great. So I don't know, it catches you at different moments, you know? Especially if you're empathic and you feel. So let's like realign tomorrow. Let's like get back to center. How about tomorrow we do maybe a chakra alignment meditation? Because I've been wanting to add meditations to the new moons and full moons. We haven't been really doing a meditation, so why don't we do that tomorrow? We'll do a little chakra aligning meditation to help us get into the right space. How does that sound to you guys? What, Chad? Which planets? The one that like Mercury? I don't know. I'd have to look at your chart. It's hard to talk generally like that when I'm not looking at the chart and all the aspects that all the planets are making, and maybe your transit chart. And remember that I do mini readings every Friday too, so if you want to sign up for a mini reading on Friday, the day right after the full moon, then you can sign up by sending $25 to my PayPal, and I'll put you on the list for Friday. Or you can also sign up for a personal reading with me. But the really exciting thing is the astrology class. If you guys want to learn how to read your own birth chart, then sign up for the astrology class. Module 1 is ready to go. Open for registration. It's only $33 too. So, you guys that were there last night, what are some of the things that you loved about the class? I was live for 2 hours and 38 minutes. There's a 2 hour and 38 minute video on just the first module. Amazing, says Magali. Sounds great. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you, Chad, for being in here too. I love it when you come into my my broadcast. I love your energy. I love that uplifting energy. Thank you all of us for being here. I'll be there second half. Okay, awesome. Yeah, right, Deidre? There's so much information, you're going to have to watch the video a few times. I absolutely understand tonight what you're talking about. I love that, Sparky. Yes. Finally. I know, right? Just after one class. But then we're gonna go even deeper next month with module 2. Thank you, Boo Barth. I appreciate that. Did you know we had 50 people sign up for that class, you guys? Let's get another 50. Let's keep it rolling. Chad is amazing. Yeah, follow him too, you guys. He has a tarot channel as well. Oh, I would love that, Chad. Oh my God, I would so love that. Okay, I love you guys. I'm gonna let you go. I will be back tomorrow. Look out for that. Check out all the awesome stuff happening. All the links are in the description of this video. Sign up for the astrology class. Catch up and meet us for module 2 next month live. I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Full Moon Eve.